Hi guys, welcome to Ask the Doc. Sorry for the delayed post, but the COVID life is very hectic, and the kids, essentially the 1 and 3-year-old, are driving me insane. So today what we're going to talk about is essentially how to manage the stress and anxiety of your toddler and of your 1-year-old, and how that's going to put more stress on you and have this cyclic, chaotic tornado that's developing, which is my household. Sadly, I am not an amazing expert, but thankfully my aunt is a clinical psychologist in children. She's not actively practicing, but she's got 30 years of experience, and I can have the freedom to call her at will and get some advice. So I know there's a bunch of you guys out there that have children. In fact, I think there's about 1.6 million families in California that are currently in the lockdown and dealing with their kids at home and all the stressors that entails. It is really hard being around a toddler for 40 fucking days, I think, and 24 hours straight, let alone the burden that my wife has to deal with because she has no way to get out of the house to detox, because either she's breastfeeding or the 1-year-old is all over her, or the 3-year-old is competing for her. So let's talk about some little quick tips on how we can help with stress reduction. So once again, welcome to Ask the Doc. If you guys like the content, it sounds interesting, give me a thumbs up so I know what the hell I'm doing. And if the algorithm is working, I can boost up my ratings and generate a little bit more content for you that's more tailored to you guys. Specifically, anybody that wants to know more about their health or health solutions or just simple advice. I know a couple of you guys have texted me here and there on the YouTube platform, and I reach out and try to get as many questions asked as possible. So just to go to my other computer screen, because I'm in the office. So we're going to talk about toddler care, anxiety, stress, the quarantine life. So let's jump in. What the hell is going on with my 3-year-old? My 1-year-old, I get it. She's attached, she's still breastfeeding, she's trying to compete for attention. But my 3-year-old is a little off. What's happening with him is he's becoming extremely moody. Simple things tick him off, such as turn the TV off, it's time for lunch, goes insane. It's like nuclear war, ballistic missiles are coming out of his head. It's just insane. I've tried a number of things, solutions by my aunt, and some of them work. So I might share them with you and see if those work for you. But the big thing that's going on is he's biting his nails. Now, I don't know if he's copying me because I have that bad habit, but I've tried to stop that. But however, he still is insistently biting his nails to the point that now he's eating the skin layer and it's causing bleeding. So that's a big concern for me. I'm now looking into some products on how to stop nail biting. If you guys have any solutions or quick home remedies, I am all for it. I was thinking about lemon juice, but I felt because he's bleeding, it's going to sting, and that's going to be extremely painful for a 3-year-old. But if you guys have any solutions, I am all ears. I know when I bit my nails as a young child, my mom would put acrylic nail polish, and it just tasted bad. But then I got used to it, and I just kept on eating it. So I don't know, but maybe there's a better solution out there. So, and the other thing is tantrums. It's just nonstop tantrums every day. Probably within the first 10 minutes, there's something that ticks them off. Whether it's jealousy of the baby or just something that pisses him off, like his train doesn't connect together. It doesn't go together, and I'm like, dude, just Like, think about it. Just be illogical, man, and just put them together. It's Legos. It's not that hard. And then the other thing is just so much attachment, and I get it. He's feeling as if the virus is something that he's being blamed for, and that's how my aunt described it. Children at 3 years old think of things as concrete ideas. They don't have that abstract processing of what a virus could be. So he thinks the virus is essentially King Kong. It's destroying his Disneyland. It's locking down the gates. It's eating the kids at his school. That's why he can't go to school. And sadly, it's true for a 3-year-old. But and maybe some of the adults out there are actually thinking it's kind of like this as well, but that's what he's internalizing. And what really hit me and what made me do this video is he said, "Daddy, am I being a bad boy, and that's why the virus is there?" So he's kind of internalizing that his behavior is why the world is falling apart. And he's putting all that weight on his little baby shoulders, right? So bad way for a little kid to internalize that. And that's how they see it. So if you can reduce that stress or that burden that he feels, that's good. So my aunt did mention that you should never mention the virus anymore. It's way too abstract. And I'm sorry, I was a medical doc. I was trying to educate him some medical stuff. She said, basically, tell him that we're in vacation mode. And in vacation mode, all the little babies and girls and boys and girls go back home. They don't stay at school. And every time he asks if the playground's going to open up or the parks are going to open up, just say, we're in vacation mode. We stay at home. We hang out with our parents and our siblings. And we have fun. And we do arts and crafts. And then when vacation mode is over, we go out and play. I also like to do a schedule routine. It doesn't have to be religious, like hardcore. I know there's some people that are insanely to the T, not me. But after breakfast, I like to take him out around the neighborhood, and there's a bunch of garden vegetation. He goes in and out of it, and he thinks it's a jungle, and he likes to have imagination time at that time. So that kind of routine is good for kids. My wife and I think after 27 days of just trying to homeschool and do arts and craft, and it's just so stressful on us. He feels that stress. We kind of like gave it up. Homeschooling is not for us. We're not educators. My wife's a nurse, and I'm a doc, and we save people's lives. We need to work fast, get information fast, and do things fast. We don't have the time to just kind of talk about, this is the letter C, and you have to trace your C, and C is for cat. I don't have time for that. Sadly, I wish I did. I just don't have the patience, and he feels that. And you guys can already sense the chaos or the anxiety that I'm already displaying. So try to ease off on the homeschooling. A good routine, which is breakfast, then playtime, then lunch, then playtime, then maybe educational TV, and then nighttime routine is good enough. At least it's something to keep them in some routine. And then you got to constantly reassure them that the virus, which you're not going to mention as virus anymore, you're going to mention it as vacation mode, is so that he doesn't internalize it as punishment. And just reassure him that all this is not punishment. It's just a vacation time between school. It's a big summer break. And after summer break, we go back to school and we have fun with our friends and our family. I know our teachers are saying you should try to do Zoom. That's like the most stupidest thing you could do for a 3-year-old. There, again, abstract concepts or interaction with an actual real substance, with real life data, real life someone communicating to you, is impossible. They don't think that way. So my kid could care less about FaceTime with his classmates. He wants to hang out with them. He wants to hold them. And that frustration of not able to touch the screen and feed or interact with them puts him at more stress, and he just slams the laptop. So I don't know if you're a successful mom that's doing, or dad that's doing Zoom or teleconferences with all your classmates, by all means, but my 3-year-old is not thinking that way. He uses that as essentially like TV, like he's watching someone on the other end, but he doesn't realize that it's interactive. So you probably shouldn't try to force that. It causes a little bit more of that anxiety-prone behavior. And then the other thing that's kind of going on is lack of confidence. At times he doesn't have he's not confident enough to express that he wants to go to the bathroom, and he soils his pants, and he's regressing in some of that behavior. And it's just a matter of confidence building. Zane, you could do it. And now he can do it again. I've rebuilt at least the confidence. Like, you can turn the light on, you can put your stool up, you can go pee and potty on your own. I still have to wipe his butt because he hasn't mastered that yet. Just build that confidence, and hopefully these solutions will help your toddler or baby deal with the anxiety of quarantine lifestyle, and just really kind of enforce those things over and over and over and over and over. My wife always says children are like goldfish. They got 2-minute memories, and you got to do it again and again and again and again and again and again and again. And maybe, just maybe, you'll survive the quarantine toddler lifestyle. If you guys like the content, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and hope to give you some more new content, more feedback, and a little bit more access to my life. And once again, thanks for reaching out to me and subscribing to Ask the Doc. Bye!